Please, please, no brass section. I didn't even get to fucking see. You know, you sound like someone who just listened to way too much Chicago, and then you're like, you just spit out bits of it that you remember, but you're remembering them wrong. So it's all like just.
I've been bonked on the head. Like, so
wait, how did that one bit go? Like, oh fuck, no, it was oh shit. Well, how does it go? But
you know, it's like those ones where they're like, I showed a bot like 1,000 episodes of Friends or whatever, and then it like puts out a script. Have you ever seen those?
I forced a bot to listen to the first 15 Chicago albums, and this is what it came out with.
Yeah, exactly. Just me.
Oh wait, no, Chicago's like an old band. I have to try and be relevant. Fuck man. What's like a new band that uses brass sections all the time?
Okay, well, first of all, fucking good luck. Second of all,
yeah, yeah, I know.
Oh god,
not that common anymore. All right, well. Fuck your brass section. Welcome to NULLSCORE, a podcast where a man who's quite possibly the missing link and a Phoenix Wright wannabe read from a script that was haphazardly thrown together minutes before this recording began. My name's Jim, and this is my co-host, Yugi Muto. Found all the Millennium items yet? I know I said his name wrong, I don't care.
The problem is there's parts in there where I want to be like, true. And if I have to true the whole thing, I hamstring myself. Yeah, man. Millennium puzzle sitting just off to my desk. Yeah.
You got the eye yet?
Well, I'm working on it. I actually did get a haircut though, so my hair is not as big as some of it really is. Like I can't, bust in through the door and be like, hey, you gonna draw a card, you? More packed than a bastard meatball sandwich, you.
Am I Pegasus because of the hair, or am I just because I'm such an idiot? Am I Joey? Which one am I?
That's the crossover of the century. I'm Pegasus, but really I'm Joey. That needs to go in your Tinder bio, man.
I don't have a fucking Tinder bio.
Wow.
I've shown you before, like the only time I've ever had a Tinder profile, I made it as stupid as possible.
Right.
And I used that fucking picture where I have like the shitty yellow shirt. My hair's tied back loosely, and I've just got like the odd strand pulled out, and I'm wearing those huge like child molester glasses. You remember that shit?
Yeah, but you look pretty sus.
I looked fucked, man. But it was all intentional. I don't know, man. Most of the shit on my Facebook is just that. Like, I don't put anything much serious up there because I don't like that people can go there and then just have a quick stalk and then they're like, oh, I know what this guy's like.
Yes.
It doesn't tell you anything. My Facebook profile just tells you that I don't take myself seriously at all.
But then maybe this is counterintuitive. Maybe that's everything they need to know.
Well,
like that's the flip side. That's the Uno reverse card.
It doesn't tell you much about my personal life, really.
Okay, so you're pulling a Virgo. You're pulling a Virgo. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Because Virgo's just completely missing entirely.
Virgo's just off the grid. He's just.
Whereas me, it's like I feel. Oh fuck! I got told today. Someone went for a stalk with me. Actually, this is why this is relevant now. But someone went for a stalk with me, and they couldn't figure anything out. They're like, "Yeah, I can't. Like, it's just some weird pictures, that's it."
Can't do it. Jeez.
So, I know. If you want to know anything about me, you might actually have to speak to me. What a fucking tragedy!
Oh no! Engaging in conversation. What is this? Fucking 2014? Get out of here.
Going back to the early 2000s, we're going to use MSN Messenger.
I was about to be like, yo, 2014, got my flip phone out. I don't know if 2014 is flip phones, man.
No, that's
it'd have to be even earlier than that.
Yeah, it would be like an old Razor or something, like an old Razor.
Oh, the Motorola Razors, yeah.
What was the other one? Motorola had like a cheaper one that was thinner and it was a bit like thicker front to back, but it was similar sort of thing to a Razor, but it was shittier. So the Razors would go for ages, but this cheaper one, after like 6 months or so, you'd start having issues with the screen because the ribbon cable that goes between the two halves just starts to bend and fucking break.
Oof. Wow.
So you don't have a screen. You open your phone and
there was an LG phone I remember a lot of people having at school because that's when I was still in high school then. But
yeah, there were a few versions of that, but yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, 20. No, oh god, no. It'd have to be early. No, it'd have to be 2008, 2009, dude. 2013, 2013, 2014 is when I'm out of uni. 2008 is when I saw the Motorola
I was going to say
Razrs.
2013, 2014 is when smartphones were starting to become a bit more accessible, I think, a bit more common.
Yeah.
Early iPhones and Android, like Samsung shit.
Well, I mean, today's a little bit of a mixed bag. I think this podcast is gradually shifting into more of a like whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
That's what it was meant to be to begin with, and then we just started going, but check this thing that happened. Guys, check out the hot goss! And I fucking can't stand that, so I don't want to do it. That's why, like, the week we had off, I was looking at, like, where we started and where we're at that point, and I was like, I'm not happy with doing news every fucking week. Like, we'll talk about shit if something happens, but I don't want that to be our focus. I don't want us to be like, here's the 2 news things that we're going to talk about today. Fuck that. I don't want that.
I mean, yeah, like news is like, it's good to a certain extent. Like sometimes it gives you something to talk about and it can lead to a broader discussion. But I don't want to just sit here and report every meme or clip that makes it to the top of LSF. Like, Bad Bunny did her thing again this week where she like shames people for not subbing.
I feel like you weren't sure if you were going to get a chance to use the word meme, so you got one in early.
Yeah, I wanted to be like a strike while the iron's hot. You know, like,
I said it already. Fuck you.
You thought I would not get the meme in, but I put the meme in before you could defend against the meme.
Damn it.
But yeah, she did the same thing again, and she was like, yeah, you guys are horrible for subbing. What was really quite interesting is she said, my life is more valuable than yours. That was like her new...
Is that actually...
Yeah, really, really bad. Yeah, no, that's exactly what she said. She literally said that her life is more valuable than the other people in chat. And she said, I know that all human lives are valuable, but my life is worth more. Is effectively what she said. Now, here's the thing. The internet has caught on to her game. We now know that she's being a meme for the sake of attention. So if you want to go and find that clip, I strongly recommend that you go to YouTube and watch some rando incel channel who's put like, you know, some Comic Sans font across the front to be like, Twitch e-beggar. Like, yeah, don't give it the views. Like, if you want to see the clip, go through YouTube.
Yeah, don't go watch her clip on her channel.
Don't do the thing that she wants you to do. All right? Don't simp without knowing, okay? You don't want to unknowingly simp. Defend yourself against unintentional
Defend your
simpage.
girl. Have you got something to tell us?
Well, that's more white knight variants, I suppose. I think.
Oh, fuck.
Militarized simps. Anyway, now obviously, Jim, when we do podcasts where we're not interviewing people, they are always so incredibly well researched, and you and I hunker down for like 3-4 days, no sleep, and just research shit. You know, we got piles on piles of pages, right? So naturally, this week we figured out exactly what we were going to talk about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I had something in mind, but I wanted to see if you heard anything, because you normally stay in control of the news, whereas I sit back and I'm like, what fucking bothers me that has to bother other people as well? Like, how can I bring something that people might actually spark a discussion?
I think I'm a little bit more plugged in, so I get the raw material, but then this is where we sort of refine it. Is here on the podcast, you know, break it down, turn it into something consumable. But what I have been watching a lot of lately, and this guy has blown up, right? His stream is healthygamer.gg, right? Or that's his website, right? And I think his stream is also healthygamer.gg. I'm just going to look up his name because he's what appears to be a immigrant Indian psychiatrist. He's a Harvard-trained psychiatrist, and he talks a lot about this. Where is he? Dr. Kanogia? Dr. Alok Kanogia? Look, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, right? But his whole thing is psychology and psychiatry for gamers, right? And he runs a stream where more recently he's been interviewing big streamers about issues that they've got in, various areas of their life, right? So one of the things that we're seeing with, his streams is he's bringing like Pokimane and XQC and Lily Pichu. He had Destiny on there, but I just can't stand Destiny, so I didn't watch it. But the whole thing about it is he talks about like proper, psychiatry and stuff. Like they have this disclaimer down the bottom where they go, "This is not a therapy session," and they've got the big fucking quotation marks so that no boys in suits come down and say, "Hey, listen, I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing." But it very much feels like a therapy couch session. I don't know what the hell that feels like because I've never had. Well, I say had to, but I've never been engaged with like in a therapy sort of relationship with a psych or.
I have to watch some of this because what you're describing sounds like Twitch Dr. Phil.
But much like it's not a meme.
Except
right?
Not rednecks and fucking like.
Yeah. Like, I mean, so like the Radula is Twitch's version of Dr. Phil, or the Trainwreck Scuffed podcast, because that thing's just a mess, right? Anyone who thinks that they go on Trainwreck's podcasts and they come out the other end more validated, it's just dude. You're just going in to have your fucking brain put through a grinder, But he very, very interesting, right? He conducts himself in a very classy manner. He's very self-aware. He like makes boomer jokes, but he also is very accessible, I think, from a gamer's perspective. Like he understands what streaming is. He does it himself, and he understands like a lot of gamer terms. Like he plays Dota, right? So this psych guy, he's like pretty across it. And a lot of the stuff that he talks about is really, really interesting. So he talks about with XQC, they get in this whole conversation about self-sabotage. And XQC talks about how really early on when he used to play Overwatch really competitively, when he felt like he was having a bad game, he'd do things to drive his viewers away. And then once he'd seen everyone was leaving, he'd want to play better again to bring them back. And bringing the people back after he drove them away felt really good for him. He felt like he'd earned the viewership rather than just coasting along. Mm-hmm. So lots of like nuanced stuff that you might not pick up from just watching their stream day in, day out. And it's done really, really well. It's really, really cool. I think you look at it, XQC was quite good in that he talked about like a lot of it was self-sabotage and talking about validation and how he needed validation from other people. For Pokimane, it was all about how her public perception and her private perception are two very different things, and she feels very hard done by in a lot of scenarios. And look, to be fair, when you go and you watch it, it's very hard to say to yourself, "Oh man, Pokimane, suck it up. Like, how hard can it be?" Because they talk about this. They say that he has this I have to remember how he describes it. Success doesn't make you immune to suffering, right? So she's got her own issues. She's, she feels like she doesn't call her parents enough, or she.
Robin Williams is a good example of that.
Well, yeah, exactly. And she talks about how she feels like she doesn't call her parents enough, how there's a huge amount of pressure on her because, all of her formative years from 16 to 23. She's 23, by the way. Pokimane's 23, and she runs a business empire, in effect, right? Mm-hmm. And she's about the stress of having people that she's employed and having to, provide work for them and, provide content on a consistent basis and be, relevant in the Twitch sphere, and how it's just relentless. And there's no rubric like A+, you did it, kiddo. Like Twitch is just continuing and the numbers don't stop. And you kind of felt for her, she talks about, I don't know if you remember, do you remember a while ago there was a video that came out, it's called The Dark Side of Pokimane?
No, I didn't watch it.
It was this big thing, and it blew up, and it was 30 minutes and something like that, and it was a huge deal. And she got a lot of flack for it, right? a lot of flack for it. And she said, yeah, a lot of the times when people, come after me and after I've helped them out, like behind the scenes or whatever, and, he actually messaged her and said, yeah, this got way out of control. I'm so sorry. I'm going to delete the video. Right? And so that video's gone now.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe from the original poster.
Well, that's exactly right. Like, it's still going to stay out.
You know how many people would have that fucking archived somewhere in the case of this exact thing? Because they fucking hate her, and they just like, if this video ever gets taken down or deleted, I'm going to have it here and I'm just going to re-up it.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. You can delete the video. It's still going to be out there.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely. And I think, well, that's just one of those things, and she talks about it, and she says, I think she says at one point, she says, like, I just want to be worth the benefit of the doubt.
To be clear, I don't hate her.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
no,
really
no.
give a shit about her either way. I don't watch her content, but I don't fucking hate her. I just like, those people exist. So saying that you'll delete the video is such an empty gesture, I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
This is from the guy that made the video, not Pokemon. So, I mean,
I know what you mean. I'm just saying, like, to that guy, it's too late, man.
Yeah,
it's too late by that point. You can't undo that.
Yeah, and it's like he turns around and he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm going to delete the video." I mean, like, you got to think,
you're grabbing the piece of toast that's burnt and trying to scrape it off, but as soon as you grabbed the fucking piece of toast, it crumbled into just ash, because that's how badly you fucking burnt it. It's way too late. You can't undo what you've done.
It feels, what else? Maybe it feels like he's like driven a van into like a shop front and then he's done a burnout inside the shop and then he's gotten out of the car and he's just seen all this shit strewn everywhere and he's gone, fuck you, and left. Right. And then the owner's sitting there like, what the hell just happened to my shop? And then he comes back into the shop and he goes, hey, you know what? I actually feel really bad about that. I'm going to take the car and I'm just going to get it out of here. Get it out of your way.
Let me get this car out of here. I feel really bad about it. Sweep the glass up. I'll sweep the glass up for you too, but I draw the line at cleaning up these skid marks that I've left all over the fucking place. It's someone else's problem.
Exactly. Yeah, and the wall, you're going to have to repair that as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to,
Sorry about your windows.
Yeah, and I remember I watched it and I was like, damn, like, it is really hard to not feel for her in that scenario, right? Because I feel like in a lot of scenarios, they're saying because they always say the same thing, because I'm seeing a consistent pattern, and they say, I don't want to complain because I understand how good I have it. Right? Mm-hmm. You hear a variation of that line somewhere, and it kind of hit me. I was like, these people are terrified of, ever whinging or complaining about any of these issues they have, because it's a very clear response from Twitch chat, which is, come on, pick yourself up. You make 6 figures. What do you got to complain about? If you don't want to do it, just stop. Well, it's just not that simple.
No, I suppose not, but you've got a lot more empathy than I do, so I don't really feel.
Well, I don't know.
So, look at it this way. What about? Think about, like, they don't have to do all the things that they do. They don't have to take it to that point. They choose to. Look at the doc. I don't know that he spends that much time his streams are pretty short.
Like, yeah, the doc streams are pretty short, but like, would you want to be the doc of that as well for 12 hours?
Fucking why not, man? Have you seen his missus?
Jesus.
All right, that was cheap.
I mean, the doc.
My point
the doc had two, right? That's Forzen CD. That's why.
No.
The 2-time, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Champions Club.
Look, he only takes on what he wants to, and I think a lot of them could do that. They choose to stream for the hours. Like, they're in control of how long they stream for. They're in control of what promotions they take on. It's all up to them. I don't think they're under anyone else's control. If they feel pressured by their community to do more, then they should be able to, like, step back and take a look at everything. they should be able to take a break and go, all right, is this getting out of hand for me? Is this starting to become more than I can deal with or want to deal with? Do I want to spend more time not doing this? Can I handle that? Because really, it's money, isn't it? It's just money or fame, which whatever it is that they want, that they get out of this, they're getting a lot of it, and it's stressful to them to have to maintain it.
I mean, I get that, but I also I circle back to this idea where Pokemon says that she's employed people and she's got to create content for them, right? At that point, and the obvious idea there is maybe she's got a social media manager. Oh God, maybe she's got two, right? Probably a couple of editors, not to mention whatever she's got with offline TV as well. So it's not, I think for her, it's not just her livelihood that's at jeopardy if she, just packs up and stops one day.
I didn't say that.
I know you didn't say that, but I'm saying
she could probably scale it back a bit, is what I'm saying. If she's that worried about it, she could scale it back.
I agree with you in that they have the power to scale it back. Yeah. And I mean, I'm a bloody 10 viewer streamer on a good day, right? I don't know what it's like to be a 10K streamer. But
no.
I feel like I don't think, especially in a community like Twitch, which is usually, it's strangely both very supportive and very vindictive. It's very, very volatile. But I think if you, jumped up on Twitch and you were like, hey, listen, I'm taking a break for a week. I just need to decompress, taking a couple of mental health days. I'll be back in a week. Here's some YouTube videos I pre-recorded. I don't think Twitch would be lose their minds. I feel like everyone would kind of be like, yeah, all right. Then again,
well, I mean, Pokemon. I did that. I just didn't. You're talking about me. You just said you, talking about me.
No, I meant generally. I didn't actually draw the parallel with what you did, but
okay.
What you did is actually an excellent example. It's exactly what it was. Like you were like, hey man, I'm going to take 2 weeks, and then everyone in your Discord was like, yeah man, no worries.
Yeah, well, I mean, quite a few people did that, but then a bunch of people reached out like, are you all right? It's like, yeah, no, I'm okay. I just almost
just had a really bad day.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave internet for a little while.
Yep.
And then everyone's most people are like, you should do this or that, or talk to me if I really appreciate the people that are, there's a lot of overlap, but I do appreciate the people that are in my community and, the overlap over into yours, I guess, as well. But I think there's a lot that goes on in my personal life that I don't bring to stream or podcast or whatever. And it's hard because I do talk about some things and because of how, I kind of hate bringing her up now, but because of how open both Tiny and I were about everything that we kind of did, I think a lot of these people who are regulars felt that they had a better idea of what our lives were like, or my life is like now, outside of what they see through this fucking camera. And that isn't the case. They don't know me well enough to be able to help with anything like that. If things are going fucking wrong, they're not none of these people live close anyway. So it's not like I'm going to say to them, hey, I'm fucking having a shitty time. Do you want to hang out?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky.
They can't.
Yeah.
So it's there's nothing they can do. Or if I told them what was going on, you had a mini fucking freak out about it as well.
Yeah, because it's a big deal. I'm not gonna. Of course, I'm gonna send you a message. You'd be like, "Hey, bro, are you cool?"
Yeah.
I'm gonna look out for you.
I don't know, man. I think that's what you said last week, the mountain man thing. That's kind of what I have to do to deal with that, because I've been dealing with fucking. I don't know, man. I think I got told I got a diagnosed severe depression when I was 8.
Wow.
And it's never never gone away. So I've been dealing with it for long enough that I sort of know what works for me. If I get to a shitty enough point, it's better for me to not talk to people, because all that happens is like it'll pass for me if I go about my method of fucking dealing with it.
Yeah.
But people are like, what's wrong? And I'll tell them like, oh, today on the way home, I just felt like fucking driving my ute into a fucking post or a tree or something. And people fucking stress out, man. I'm like, no, like it was just a fleeting thought. It was just there and it was really fucking strong. But I didn't do it, obviously, because I'm home now talking to you about it. I'm telling you that I thought that.
Obviously.
Are you all right there?
I'm fine. It's actually,
Red.
This is a really bad look for me because Red's just come in and poured me some wine. So now I have like, I'm sitting here listening to you being like, yeah, man, I was going to drive my car into a post. And I'm like, yeah, more wine's great. Thank you.
I need this. I need that to deal with this, actually. Yeah.
Which I think, I mean, is not, I don't think that's me being, I don't think you should take that as me being dismissive. I think you should take that as me being confident in your ability to handle yourself.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I think people don't understand that the way I deal with it typically is to isolating.
So can you take dog, please? No, don't leave. Yeah, take Ollie. Thank you.
Interruption.
Ugh, fucking, I'm like Tim the Cat Man. I got interruptions all the time.
It's all good, man.
All right, go on.
Yeah, so I think people panicked. The handful of people that I told exactly what was going on panicked, except for one who I'm not going to name them because I don't want to drag their issues up on this as well.
Yeah.
But they kind of they have a very similar way of dealing with it, I think, and a very like similar mindset to it.
They were
so
just
they're
like,
oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I can imagine.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just easier for me to deal with if I don't have heaps of people going, I know how you feel. No, you don't. I will never pretend. If someone's telling me something shitty happened, I'll just be like, look, I can't relate. I'm not going to pretend to know what you're going through. But if you want to fucking unload about it, I can listen and I'll remember what you've told me.
Yeah,
I'm going to pay attention.
Yeah, we get taught this a little bit in law school. It's the difference between empathy and sympathy, right? Like, as a lawyer, I get clients and they're like, yeah, man, I'm homeless and my girlfriend left me for my dad and I have no job and no tickets and I can't read and write. Like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm sitting here as, a private school student with a, mum and dad still together, fucking uni degree and a suit on. And I'm like,
I can't relate. I really don't know.
I'm like, I've got no fucking clue how you feel. I don't know what that's supposed to be like. I'm surprised you're here. It's props to you. And so it's like it becomes.
What am I supposed to do? I don't know, man. Heroin, maybe. Like, fuck.
At that point, you're like, well, shit. I mean, I guess doing ice makes sense. At some point, you got to sit there and be like, I mean, shit. I can't really tell you that what else have you got? Like, you got to start somewhere and obviously build yourself up, right? Like the logical, I mean, I'm making jokes, but realistically, the idea is we'll get the person into education, get them training, because there's a lot of stuff you can do. Like, there's a lot of like resources available to some of these people. Like, most often it's just about getting them to the room where the person is. Yeah.
Yep.
Because a lot of the time these people are so downtrodden and unmotivated that you kind of just need to give them that push. And a lot of the time it's like, sending some guy in a car to go and pick them up and take them to the appointment with the guy that's going to train them,
Well, you can get to a point where you feel, I don't know, this is like where I have been before.
Yeah. You
can get to a point where you feel as though you're not worth taking up that time and somebody else more worthy of that help could be in that spot that you're now taking up. So you just won't. You just go, no, I don't want to do that. Like someone else might actually need help and be worthy of that, receiving that help.
See, that's
over
like,
me.
That's some next level. Like it's like a weird version of imposter syndrome. In a way. It's like, I don't deserve this level of help. There's people who've got it worse than me. But I mean, it's just one of those things where you can kind of sit there and you can be like, look, I can understand that would suck. I don't understand how much that sucks, but I'm going to do my best to figure out what it is I can do to alleviate some of that suck. You know? Like that's the best I can do for you. You know, like the dude comes in and, you know, his girlfriend's with his dad and he can't read and write and he has no job. And I'm like, well,
girlfriend's with his dad.
I mean, I can't fix your relationship issues and, you know, I can't get you a house and a job, but I can make sure that you've still got your driver's license at the end of the day. Like that's the best I can do for you, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's one of those things, I think, sympathy and empathy. And I mean, you get that with Dr. K. I felt like I could like empathize with a lot of the things that, you know, some of these people were feeling. Obviously, it's, you know, on a different magnitude, but imposter syndrome's a really good one. You know, I don't deserve to be where I am. I haven't earned my position. Mm-hmm. Like that's a big one that I think I've got a couple of times. Or talking about Lily Peachy talks about self-worth, feeling like you're not good enough to do something, which is a little bit different to the imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, you're already there, and then you feel like it's kind of like hollow, like you can't fill that role. Whereas Lily's situation was like she felt like putting a lot of the blame on her when she really shouldn't have. So a lot of this stuff is very relatable, I think. You know, I think, you know, it's a streamer issue, like their issues are different to our issues, but there's some core thread that you can kind of link with. And I think that's why Dr. K's streams are so good, to kind of tie that all up.
It sounds like what you're describing is that it's like similar issues, it's just on a different scale because, you know, it's not...
Yeah, it's a different scale, it's a different flavour. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so I mean, you know... It's very, very cool. I think if you guys want to check that out as well, people listening, it's Healthy Gamer GG. The recordings are anywhere between like an hour and 3 hours.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so they're a little while, but it's like an in-depth conversation. Like you can throw that on in the background and you'll find yourself... You ever do that thing where you put something on in the background and then you kind of wake up to yourself after you've been watching the thing that you had on the background for like 10 minutes? Do you ever do that? Like you throw like a show or music on or something like that, and you're supposed to be doing work, and then you.
I used to do that with shows that didn't require you fucking undivided. So
yeah,
I used to put on shit like Seinfeld or fucking Scrubs or whatever, and that would just be on like another monitor off to the side. When I used to play a lot of games that didn't require your fucking reflexes really, shit like Jagged Alliance and just stuff that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and then every now and then you're paying attention to it, and you like, huh, and then you just lose focus on it again for a while. And
it's very, very good. I would absolutely recommend it for somebody that, you know, obviously after you're done listening to the NULLSCORE podcast, you know, you need some more long form content. That is definitely the way that I would go. Honestly, I can't recommend it enough. He's doing such a good job. Like he's doing such a good thing for the community and it's really good content. So, you know, I'm all for it. It's something that nobody else is doing, you know? Halftime. Ready for an ad read?
Halftime. Do you want a cup of coffee that'll make all the Lynx ads look like children's stories compared to your real life?
Do you want a cup of coffee that will let you kill a man with just your earlobes?
Oh, fuck, man. That sounds intense. Do you want a cup of coffee that'll somehow make Australia Post deliver your shit on time?
That sounds useful and fantastic. Do you want a coffee that will let you maintain your viewership even if you do transition to Mixer?
Well, that's harsh. That
is a cheeky meme. Well, Killer Coffee won't do that for you, but it is a good cup of Joe. You're having yourself a sip right now. Titanium.
You could hear it.
I did a little bit. Yeah, I got super hearing. But
I'm so committed to our not sponsor that I'm having a cup of coffee at fucking 5:30. I've been awake since 4:30 in the morning. I'm having one at fucking nearly
meanwhile,
6 o'clock.
I'm sitting here sipping apple juice.
Ah, yes, of course.
Ooh. Apple juice.
I feel like you've abandoned our not sponsor.
No, I'm waiting on a bag to be delivered. I signed up for a fucking subscription.
Ooh,
so you can get a subscription so it's delivered frequently.
Yeah, it's 30. I got for 36 a month. I'm getting a fucking 1 kilo bag of Darker Side every month.
That's actually so good though.
That's actually pretty cheap, I think.
That's pretty cheap.
It's not bad.
For only $36 a month, get a bag of Darker Side delivered to your house. Killer coffee. Making sure that you don't fuck up like Viserys and forget to order a bag.
It's just going to be to keep Sinead away from the other coffee. Here, drink this.
You're buying decoy coffee because it's too good.
No, I'll drink it as well. I figured if I'm not gonna buy like one of each bag. I'm not gonna pay $70 a month for coffee. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. But I'll drink this shit anyway. I drink it less. I'll just fucking I'll just get the black bag.
Yeah.
It isn't bad. It just means I'll be drinking less coffee overall because that one fucking cup just wires me for the next 3 hours.
I think one day we should just we should properly formally approach Killer Coffee. And
I don't think we're there yet.
Well, I mean, we could just send him a message and be like, "Hey, we're just a couple of dudes. I just feel like you should know we've been making jokes about your company for nearly 3 months now. So just so that you're aware,
nothing bad.
Yeah, nothing bad. We basically
we're just equating it to crack sometimes. That's all.
We basically say that it'll give you superpowers, and then we insinuate that you support the idea that it might give you superpowers. But then we say, "Ha ha, Uno reverse card not sponsored." So it's all fine in the end.
Yeah, please don't sue us.
Yeah, please don't sue us.
What if we just don't get a response? Like 3 weeks later, we get a cease and desist or something. Just stop talking about us.
Look, man, as the legal professional in the room, I feel like the plan at that point is to cease and desist. I think that's
I'm going to see it. It's going to be in the fucking NULLSCORE email. You'll probably see it before me, actually. I feel like if you send something to them, you're going to be checking that shit every couple of hours.
Yep.
And you're going to see it and just not tell me because you're like, oh, man.
Shit.
Just wait for me to find out myself.
I want it to be a surprise.
Yeah. Surprise. They hate us. We can't ever talk about them again. Also, you have to stop using that cup.
Yeah. Stop using the cup. Get rid of the bullet flask. We can't drink coffee on stream anymore. So we're like, we come in, we're just like super fried. You know?
No, I'll still drink their coffee. I'll just drink it out of a fucking paper Macca's cup or something.
just say it's something else.
Or even worse, the fucking Hungry Jack's ones. Why are they so much worse? I only had I don't even
Hungry
want to talk
Jack's
about it.
sells coffee?
Fuck. Where did I get one from? Was it Hungry Jack's or somewhere else? I don't know, man. It was shit though. It was fucking terrible.
Goddamn. So, you mentioned something about spare rooms earlier today.
Are you sure?
Well, look, man. I mean, we talked about the Dr. K stuff, you know. So, what's this business? Are you getting somebody in the spare room?
Hungry Jack's does sell what they call coffee, by the way.
Oh, Hungry Jack's does sell coffee? Oh, okay.
Well, they call it coffee, but...
I see. Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have screenshots of any of this, so it's just like...
That's all right. Just run it from memory. Just freeball it. I'm here for it.
It's my ad. My ad's pretty fucking straightforward. Like it tells you everything really that you'd need to know.
Right. So what describe to me what it is that you're trying to put.
Do you want me to just read my fucking ad? Like it's
okay. All right.
It's not exciting.
Read the ad.
It's not really funny or anything. It's just fucking all right. Single room available in suburb with own toilet and own bathroom, bathtub and shower. Whole house has ducted reverse cycle AC and fiber to the premises. NBN with unlimited data. 100/40 plan to avoid any issues with internet usage.
Great. That sounds like my kind of gig. To be honest, that's the
You can-
place I would rent.
You can connect to this via Wi-Fi, or I'm happy to leave the Ethernet cable visible in the picture if you'd prefer to use that. There's a picture of you can see it kind of coiled up.
Right, so
coming in the door.
Not only have you been like, hey man, single room, air conditioned, 100 over 40. Not only can you use Wi-Fi, but I'll also give you cabled internet.
Well, if you want to run the cable, I don't give a fuck.
This is Gamer Boy's dream rental.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll be sharing with myself and my friendly but not overly intelligent cat. I work full time and currently spend a lot of my free time out, so you will have the place to yourself a lot, which is true. I haven't been home very much at all.
Okay, yep. These are all good things.
You'll also have a covered car space with remote controlled roller door accessed via the laneway behind the house.
With the covered car space. Holy
yeah, so
moly.
there's like a carport at the back that's...
Man,
it's a laneway entrance thing.
This is reminding me of like all my house hunting that I did when I lived in Brisbane, like place hunting. It was like, hey, do you want a house that is not expensive, has decent internet, has air conditioning, has a car space, or has a covered car space that takes up 2 points, or is not occupied by somebody that plays drums at 9 in the morning or in an incredibly sketchy suburb. And you get to pick 2 of those things.
Yeah.
Like you only get 2 maximum. Oh, yeah. And this is what it reminds me of. So it's just ticking all the boxes in my head. I'm like, this is great. This is awesome.
So that's pretty much the whole thing. All I've added is if you'd like to know more or want to see more pictures, please text rather than call, as I likely won't be able to answer.
Fair enough.
People have been messaging me through Gumtree instead of I said text. I used the word text, which to me means text message. Like one person. Everyone else has messaged me on whatever.
Right.
It just means I don't get notifications because Gumtree's messaging thing is fucking terrible.
Immediately filtering out the applicants based on illiteracy.
The first guy to message me said, "G'day, Rob." So that's bad because my name is James.
Cheers. Thanks, Rob. Cheers, Rob. Like, well, actually, my name's James. He's like, I just thought you'd like the nickname Rob. I just thought maybe that would stick with you.
This one's I'm not going to read that one because it's actually not terrible. There's only one person who's not kind of been an idiot about it.
So we don't want to roast the
No.
Right.
Hi, is the room furnished? Hi, no, the room is completely empty at the moment. Like in the pictures, you can see that it's empty anyway.
Yep.
And then their next response is suburb. That's the place where Jane Rimmer's body was found. Second victim of the Claremont serial killings. They're right, but
I mean, yes, but
so
also
I was like,
no.
I read it and I was like, why would you? And I was like, I got to be friendly to this person. This is like on Woolcott Road, other side of the freeway from my place. But yes, you are correct.
Yep, that's what happened.
Okay. Another dude has sent the generic reply from Gumtree. All he's done is just clicked send message. He didn't type anything in.
Oh, it's like, hi, I'm interested or something.
Yeah. So I asked him if he wanted to come today. There's 0 punctuation in this whole message, by the way. Hi, James, not today. And
for a second, I thought you meant the fucking YouTube series. I was like, is that guy trying to live in your house?
Yahtzee? I don't think I'd be. Yeah. Anyway. So I asked him, when would a good time...
in your fucking home with you.
Fuck that.
Wake up in the morning.
He's funny, but I wouldn't want to live with the guy. I don't think so. When would it be a good time for you? I'll be home for a while this afternoon if you'd like to come today. Hi, James, not today. Letter M, busy. How about Saturday? Hey, can you, letter U, PLZ, let me know a little about yourself and Indian or Australian and how many people live in the house.
Whoa, hang on, wait, sorry.
Capital U, do.
And Indian or Australian?
Yes. Those are the only 2 options. You're either Indian or you're Australian. You couldn't be anything else. It's not possible.
Wait. Sorry. Is he telling you that he's Indian and Australian?
He's asking me.
So he's asking you whether you're Indian or Australian.
Yeah, I
first
think
of all,
so.
Well, good news, you fit into the criteria. You're one of 2 things. So
yes.
You've passed the test, James.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
Good. Man, for a second I thought worried. I was a Chinese bloke and then it would all gone to shit. But now we're okay.
Oh man, if I was a Kiwi, I would have been fucked.
Oh no, dude. I mean, I really hope that he's just like, it's a contextual error. It's like,
I don't know. I feel like he's Indian and he was asking because he's like, they always seem to, whenever they post ads, they do the same thing. They're like Indian, like room for Indian. They have ads like that.
okay, yes, but see, I mean,
someone's going to go, you can't say that's racist. Like, man, go for a look on Gumtree. Look for yourself. 100%. Those ads are there.
Yeah, the ads are there, and I mean, even if they are, I feel like in some of those situations, I can't really blame people like that. I feel like people are like, oh man, you know, that's so horrible. You're discriminating against other people. It's like, well,
they probably get tired of people complaining about like them cooking stuff that bombs the whole house out, because it does. It fucking,
curry
you can
is
smell
very
it from next door.
aromatic.
Yeah, it just is. Like, it doesn't really bother me because I've got a dulled sense of smell and taste anyway. So it doesn't. It's not really a thing.
I think it comes from more the perspective of, you know, if you are, or if you want to be, you know, maybe you want to be just like comfortable in your own house. Maybe you don't want to be jumping, you know, language barriers or cultural barriers every time you come home. You know, like I can understand. I can kind of get why, like, you know, and it's not even. I don't think it's a situation where it's like, you know, these people have problems mixing with people, you know, or talking to people from other cultures. I think it's just a situation where they're like, hey man, I'd rather come home.
They feel more comfortable with people that they have things in common with.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's your home. Like you want to feel like, well, I mean, like safe.
I don't have a problem with him asking that. It was just such a strange thing to ask, like Indian or Australian only.
Yeah, I think it's just about what you understand. Yeah, it's all about what you understand. I feel like if you don't understand some things, it puts you on edge. Like, people talk about humans fearing the unknown, you know, and the argument is go and learn and do it. But, you know, laziness trumps in that scenario. It's like,
Last time roommates were coming for a look, it was a few years ago now. Man, I think I intimidated nearly every one of them unintentionally. Just meeting them, they're very, very quiet.
Yeah, it's probably because you look like a heavy metal drummer that got dredged out of the sea, dude. Like, they're coming over. They're like, well, I guess I'm living with, you know, Led Zeppelin.
It was always the foreign people that were intimidated though. All the Aussies who came they were fine. They were fine to talk normally. They didn't give a shit. But it was always like the Asian dudes, Indians or whatever, that were just like, oh god.
I think it's just a big cultural gap. Like, when I went to Japan, I was like, everything scared the shit out of me. I mean, I'm pretty hard. I'm a bit of a weeb, right? Like, I watch a lot of anime. Yeah. And I did Japanese through school, and like, you know, I've got like fake ornamental katanas in the house. Like, you know, it's just a huge cultural shock. Like, and it's very confronting. It's like sometimes it's a bit tricky to get over. Like, obviously it's a lot of fun, like exploring all of this cool new stuff. But sometimes, like, you kind of just wish you could eat a burger and sit down for a second. You know, like,
I don't know. I guess,
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really have anything much to say about that particular line. I just think it's funny that they always seem to panic over me when I don't give a shit. I don't care. They could move. I would live with them and not give a fuck about what they were doing. Yeah. But anyway, the next part bothered me.
Yep, go on.
How many people live in the house? If you read the ad. If you just fucking read the ad, you can answer that for yourself.
2 people, clearly. Me and the cat.
Well, I mean, the cat's not a fucking person, but I did say that. As stated in the ad, nobody else lives in the house, but I do have a cat.
What's the bet that they're like, you know, can you imagine if they've just had like a poor experience with a pet? Like, the pet is just like, you know, they've gone to some house where it's like a 3-bedroom home and the dog has one of the bedrooms and it's got like its own like bunk bed and shit.
Well, cats can be fucking people. I think a lot of people who haven't lived with cats don't understand how much destruction they can rain on your things. Like, they will scratch the fuck out of everything. Anything that is solid, anything that's covered in carpet or like Tolex, like all my old amp cabs. As long as I've had cats, the sides of my amp cabs just got fucking like scratched. Speaker cabs rather just got scratched.
They do that, right? That's why they have like scratching posts for cats.
Yes, but there's fucking like 4 scratching posts in this place, and you hear all the time that the cat's not here at the moment, but when she's here, she comes in and scratches these fucking office dividers behind me. She comes and scratches these instead of the fucking posts. There's a post in this room on the other side of my monitors. Walk straight past it to come to the office dividers.
She's like, nah. Let's scratch the office dividers instead.
This thing that's not at all designed for this is better. It's like she looks so uncomfortable doing it, but she'll fucking do it, and then like she'll do it for a little bit and then turn around to look at me like, what? Are you seeing this? Are you watching me?
You got this on camera, George?
Not just that.
Are you recording this, Eddie?
If you're like some cats, if you're shitty to the cat, if you stir them up and they take a disliking to you, even female cats, they'll piss on your stuff. They'll piss on your bed, your clothes if you leave them lying around. Anything that they can get to that's soft, they will piss on it.
And cat
piss is
rough.
Fucking liquid Satan. It is so bad, man. And the worst part of that is you can wash it as many fucking times as you like. That cat will always know the exact spot that it pissed on, and it will go back and do it again.
It'll just do
the same spot.
Yeah. God damn. Cats are evil, dude. Cats are like roommates that don't give a shit about you.
Only like it depends how you treat them. It depends how you treat them, man. Like the cat doesn't do. If the cat pisses on something, it's because there's something upsetting her that I've missed somewhere. I somehow didn't notice. If she pisses on someone else's stuff, it's usually been because they fucked with her, and they weren't honest. Like when they'd say, "Oh, the cat pissed on my thing," it's like, "Well, what'd you do to her?" And they're like, "Nothing." No,
nothing.
You did something, because she doesn't just do that.
Yeah.
If something's stressing her out, she'll piss on my thing because she's trying to get my attention to tell me that something's wrong. If she pissed on your thing, she knows you don't feed her. She knows you don't clean her litter.
Exactly.
You did something that fucking pissed her off or stressed her out. And she's pissing
my
on your
cat,
shit.
and now you want to tell me it's nothing.
I mean, at least she doesn't typically scratch or bite, but I mean, pissing on your stuff's not much better, really.
Honestly, like
fucks with you mentally.
I feel like I would probably prefer the scratching. I think
100%, man, because that stings for a bit, and then it'll take a while to heal. But pissing on your stuff, like that just takes a toll on you, because you're like, man, now I have to clean this, and she's probably going to come back and do it again. And if it took you too long to notice, it's leaked. It's like gone through it to whatever was beneath.
Yeah, all I've got to do to repair my skin is like eat and sleep,
not scratch it.
That's it. And just not irritate the area. Yeah, like that's all I have to do. Right? I have to if I have to get up and get detergent and clean something, that's too much work. Just
put your clothes through the wash.
Yeah, exactly. So just to be clear, I would rather sacrifice my health than my personal property.
I care more about my things than I do myself. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, that's it. It's capitalism personified.
I'm glad we're on the same page there. So the last thing he asked me, like I said, 0 punctuation. So this is I'm not sure exactly how he means this, but...
Oh, we're not done.
What capital U do? What you
do.
Are you asking me what I do here in my free time? Are you asking me what I do for work? Because that's really none of your fucking business, yet. What are you asking me? Why are you asking me?
What you do?
What you do? What do you do, Vis?
It sounds like
what do you do, Hamish?
It sounds like a rap track title. It's like what you do sounds like something that should be a song. What do I do?
It's going to be rough if this guy ends up moving in, and then for some reason he ends up watching this at some point. And I'm just sitting here trashing him for making no fucking sense.
2 weeks in, he's just paid a couple weeks bond, and he sees us ripping him a new asshole on stream.
Well, I mean, am I the asshole there, or does that not make any sense? I don't understand what he's asking me or why.
I think the question could be clearer, right? I feel like...
You're asking because if you're asking what my hobbies are at home, that's reasonable, because I could,
Yeah, I feel like the polite thing to do is to guess and to just be like, just what do you do? It's like, oh, I play video games in my spare time.
I just said to him, I work full time, because I don't understand the question, so I just said I work full time.
Yeah, just work full time, right?
If he wants to know something else, he'll ask.
Yeah, he'll be specific. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think, and I think there's a difference between being like evasive and just being like, I just don't understand your question. Like, like if some person came up to me and is like, hey, what do you do for a job? I'm like, I'm a lawyer. I work for a not-profit.
I should have just, I don't know, if I didn't care about it at all, I would have just hit him with a what cunt. Just go full bogan.
Just give him the full Uno reverse card.
WOT space KUNT.
Or get him with the, he's like, what you do. You hit him with the, no, what do you do? What do you do in your spare time? Just flip it on him. Just give him, just give them nothing and take everything. That's the plan. That's the plan.
This is the part I fucking hate.
What part?
I hate getting like, just like, there's also another person who contacted me. It's a smallish room, right? It's a single room. You would have seen it on Tiny Stream. Like, it's not a very big room. It's not. I've definitely seen smaller ones. I fucking rented a smaller one at one stage, but it's not big. It's not a big room. Most of the value is in the internet, the AC, and the fact that like you're gonna have the fucking couch and TV and kitchen and the big main room to yourself most of the time because I'm not even fucking here. But and the bathroom with a tub and shit. Like a lot of times you're gonna have to share something like that. I don't use that bathroom at all. It gets dust. All I do, the only time I ever go in there is to fucking clean it because it gets dusty because I don't fucking use it. Anyway,
Jesus.
I had a person contact me and they're like, I like the room for me and my partner. I was like, all right, well, I mean,
okay. Did you say no couples?
Small. No, I didn't.
Okay. All
because I've assumed people would be able to tell from the pictures that it's really not big enough for a couple unless you don't spend a lot of time here or you're going to spend a lot of time out in the main room, which is fine. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, so you're not opposed. You're not opposed to a couple, but you just think it's a bad idea.
I think it's a bad idea. I think definitely. It's not enough space for two people to be
hang out, to live.
You get in each other's fucking space all the time. It's going to lead to so many arguments. But anyway, so I was like, look, it's going to I don't think you're going to be comfortable. You can look at the room anyway if you want. So the conversation, like a few messages back and forth, and I was like, all right, when would you like to come for a look? And then she's like, would it be okay for a well-behaved 2.5-year-old? I was like, God damn it.
Whoa.
And then this person said he sleeps with us, so he doesn't need his own room or bed or whatever. I was like, man.
Oh, wow. So you want 3 people in the room?
That's too many in that little space. You're going to hate it.
Damn.
I kind of don't want to say it, but at the same time, like, you're talking about having a 2.5-year-old in this house when I'm not here most of the time. This room in here, nothing is safe. Nothing is safe in this room that I'm sitting in right now.
Yeah, no. It's a dangerous house for a toddler to be in.
It's not safe for him. I'm going to get pissed off if my shit gets broken. Like, I'm going to come home, something's going to be broken. I'm going to be like, all right, well, they probably, they didn't realize, but the kid's probably come in here and fucked with something and broken it. And then they came and scooped him up and went, oh, no, bad kid for you're not supposed to be in there.
And I mean, that's just kids, right? But you don't have to deal with that. Like,
no, I don't.
It's difficult to find a place where you can have a kid exactly for this reason, right?
Like, my son's 6 years old. So when he comes here, I don't have to deal with that either because he'll ask me. He knows that if he gets caught in here fucking with something, he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah. So he's got it pretty well worked out.
He can come in here and play games and shit, but not without my supervision.
Yeah, exactly. So, but a toddler doesn't have an appreciation for that concept yet.
No.
They wouldn't have. Probably wouldn't have a huge. I mean, I'm not a pediatrician, but I'm sure self-control is probably not well developed at that stage.
I don't think so. No.
That's probably a little bit outside of my region of expertise. I
fucking hate having to say no to people, but Jesus Christ, man, like that's
tough, dude. That's tough. I feel like at the end of the day, you just kind of go, look, it stacks up. It's a bad place. You can't shove 3 people in there. It's a small room.
You can't shove 3 people in that room, and also it's not a very
It's just
like that cat fucking hates kids.
Yeah.
She fucking hates kids.
Yeah, like I know this is a bad idea, and I'm telling you, this is the information you need. They'll find another place.
Yeah, they will. I don't know. Just fucking feel bad turning people away. That's all.
So, are there any more applications, or should I start having a look at some comments from last vid?
Not yet. We can look at comments.
Okay. So, as always, shout out to iHole Man. He's showing up every week. Buddy, you're the MVP. All right. On the last one, episode 12, catch-up memes, you and I talked about your little break and just kind of hung out, shot the shit, right? Talked a little bit about some simps, some Pokemon stuff, some, what's her face?
Fucking
Amber
name,
Cerny. Amanda Cerny.
Amber?
Amanda Cerny.
Amanda?
No,
Who the
it
fuck?
wasn't Amber. Amanda Cerny.
Why did you say Amber then first?
I don't know. I used to have a friend called Amber who has that like kind of like tall column figure blonde brunette build to her.
Okay.
And the two of them just kind of ring in my head. Anyway.
All right.
iHoleman says, I feel like some of the infamous Pokemon simps claiming to get evicted may be a product of people pretending to commit that much to encourage others to do the same. Have you seen the start of the movie Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels? Jason Statham is selling fake pocket watches in a back alley to a group of people, and to get the ball rolling, his criminal mate pretends to be a sucker that buys one and says that it is a bargain, playing on the mob mentality concept. No breaks. P.S. No breaks allowed. I had withdrawal symptoms all week. There's only 3 podcasts I listened to, and you guys were sorely missed. Shout out to iHole Man. Love you, man.
Fuck.
So he's saying that maybe the simps that's saying that they are paying money and not paying rent is actually just a ploy to have other people donate to Pokemon.
What he's equating it to, though, is like that's saying that like Pokemon
also we're using
pays people to
Pokemon
say these things
as a token big female streamer here. We just spent the start of the podcast being like, hey, Pokemon's actually not that bad. In fact, I would wager to say she's pretty cool. I don't watch a lot of her content, right? A lot of the stuff that she does isn't a huge like draw for me. It's just not my usual brand of entertainment. But I have a good level of respect for Pokemon. I think she's doing a lot of really good shit. That's the easiest way to say it. Are you there, man? Did you die? Why you going to leave me hanging like that? That was a weird place to, buddy.
That's what you get for fucking simping.
Simp? It is not simping. That is not. I don't sub
Sorry,
to her.
defending her, white knighting. I'm just fucking with you now. I'm just stressing you out.
Look, she does a lot of good shit, and she's pioneering a lot of good stuff for the areas. She did that scholarship for a university, which was insane to see. I think she's a really good example of what girls on Twitch.
I don't know enough about that to say anything. I'm not going to say anything about that because I don't know anything about it. I'm going to go look that up though, and if it's actually shitty, I'm going to fucking tell you to bits about it. Yeah.
Didn't she donated like 50K or something like that? Like it's in her name.
I don't know.
Like, I mean, fair enough. If you want to give away 50K, then yeah, slap your name on it. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, mob mentality concept.
She appeals to. I don't know. The audience that she appeals to is just not what. Like, I'm not part of that.
You're not the audience. I'm not the audience.
No.
Yeah.
Female streamer that I'll actually watch. Ann Munition.
Yeah,
have you seen her?
I've seen some of the clips of her. She's actually like a properly good FPS gamer, right?
Watch some of her old clips, old PUBG shit, man.
She's
the M24.
on point.
She was fucking nuts with the M24.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think she takes more of a like properly like skilled route. You know, like the same route that Shroud takes. Like people talk about how Shroud's got like the aim god. Shroud says, I don't feel like I'm an aim god. I feel like I'm just incredibly adaptable. Like he says he can pick up any game and be good at it. You know, I kind of
that's what playing games a lot does. If you just play games all the fucking time.
Yeah, but I mean,
someone in chat asked him like what he does off stream. I'm pretty sure like his response. I just laughed at his response because he's like, off stream? What do you mean?
What is off stream?
Well, in my time, he said, "This is it, dude. You're seeing it here. I just play games."
He's one track mind. He's got it all.
He plays different games, I guess, that he wants to play that he doesn't think would be interesting a stream to watch, which
Probably
is fair.
WoW.
That's,
Probably WoW.
for quite
to
a
be
while,
honest.
I was doing the same thing, man. Like, on my off days, if I wasn't doing something that I needed to for my personal life to continue to
Function.
work, I would just play shit that I wanted to for fun. Like, I didn't have to worry about stream.
I've been doing that with Assassin's Creed Odyssey lately. I played it a couple of times on stream, but
No breaks allowed. Did you see my response?
what for the YouTube comment?
Yeah.
No, I feel like I should have, because it's, a fucking YouTube channel that I have some part in running, but
I'd said no breaks from me for a while. I'm not sure how many more times Hamish will deal with me calling him other names though before he snaps and needs some time off.
That's it. You'll come in here and you'll be like, "Hey, Henry," I'm like, "That's it. Fuck this." Oh, God.
There's one more Phoenix Wright joke from
I was
the
trying to,
fucking breakdown.
make a meme out of leaving, but my green screen on the floor stopped me from wheeling all the way back.
You fucking ran into. Is that what that noise was? You ran into your green
I
screen?
ran into my green screen. So it's like packed away on the floor. It sits behind me. So, because I've got two different quote unquote sets, right? So when I'm recording NULLSCORE, I revert to my classic red light background. But now when I'm streaming, I now use a green screen predominantly. So I've got that as well. But, it is what it is. Anyway, Jim, James, Jimbo, Jonathan, Jimothy.
Rob, according to that one guy on Gumtree.
Rob.
I mean, it's my middle name, so like he's not wrong. But
That's
still.
Fair enough. Are we going to bring Eddie in here? Are we bringing Eddie in?
He might have been fucking tipped into the truck, man, from his wheelie bin.
He's
Picked
in
up
wheelie
the
bin.
rubbish.
He's gone. He's taken out with the garbage.
Eddie, you're right.
Well, if you guys want to check out the NULLSCORE podcast, of course, if you're listening on an audio platform, you can always see the video version on YouTube. If you're watching the version on YouTube, it's available on all cool audio platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. There's also a website where you can have a look at it, and it's got players. You can embed it and shit. So
Cool audio platforms.
Yeah.
Mate, we're not on Tidal.
We're not on Tidal, but that's fine because it's not a cool audio platform. So you can also yell at us on Twitter. Handles are at Titan5150 and at Viscerus. YouTube as well, much the same. Or you can yell at us live. Twitch.tv/T1TIN5150 or /Viscerus TV. Any closing thoughts, Jim, before we have Eddie roll the outro?
Yeah, if this guy comes for a look, I'm going to have to make sure I don't have PewDiePie bitch lasagna fucking playing.
Oh my God. Shit.
Let's go before I fucking offend someone.
Let's get out of here. Roll the outro, Eddie.
See you next week.
See you next
Thanks
week.
for watching, guys.
Oh, damn it. Imagine.
You probably wouldn't know it anyway.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, like, wasn't that the whole thing? Like, T-Series was massive in India, and then it became like a whole thing.
Yeah, but I doubt many Indians living here right now follow PewDiePie or that whole situation and know that song.
Man, all this talk is like got me like seriously craving some curry. Hey? I could smash. Like,
is that racist? I don't know if that's racist.
I don't think that's racist. I think if I
heard
associate,
that
if I associate Indian culture with good food, I feel like that's good. I could destroy a korma right now. Korma, I feel like
the dumbest fucking argument. Go on.
Yeah. No, I would just crush a korma right now.
I could fucking smash a korma.
That's all I want you to know. That's it. I would just destroy a korma curry right now.
I'm going to make a note. Hamish could destroy a korma right now. This one, I've got to make sure I fucking timestamp it so we know when.
Or a butter
exact
chicken.
moment that you felt like
I
smashing
could
a
also
korma.
settle for a butter chicken. I could do butter chicken.
For fuck's sake. I'm ending this. I'm hitting the button.
Righto. Red button.